Safer Watch will also allow police to send out alerts on major incidents to people who request them. There are additional regulations for some new downtown developments designed to make it more convenient for employees to ride their bikes to work. The issue, letting people know where the empty spaces are located just as they're arriving downtown. Yoga is believed to have a calming effect on adults who practice it, and it apparently works on babies too.
I can't stand us.
73-year-old William Schwenzer is disabled after being hit by a car. It was that accident and a series of other setbacks that led to him losing his home and winding up on the streets.
I just couldn't hang it. I don't know.
Just things happen. And William's situation is not unique here at St. Anne Place, where those experiencing homelessness go for help.
St. Anne Place can help you.
Many of the client's circumstances seem overwhelming. Steve McDonald says he's suffering from terminal cancer, but unable to afford an apartment, Steve sleeps wherever he can.
I sleep under a building, a garage overhang that keeps me dry.
Is it scary?
Yeah, I've been robbed twice. I got police reports and everything else. It's scary for all of us, not just me.
It's stories like those that tend to keep Mary Manuel and Raven Green up at night. You get upset just listening to him talk, I notice.
I did like I ain't supposed to.
You're supposed to keep it together.
Yeah, I'm supposed to, because he almost broke down like 3 times, and then I'm like, I got to keep my focus.
Because as members of the City of West Palm Beach's homeless outreach team, it's their mission to get as many people as they can off the streets and into permanent housing.
You got an opening, I'll take it.
Mary used to work at the Lewis Center, which provides temporary shelter to homeless people. What she's doing now is much more comprehensive.
Okay, so the care manager that she was referring to that's going to contact in 2 weeks, did I misunderstand that?
She and Raven sometimes spend days, weeks, even months trying to line up housing, health care, and other critical needs for clients like William.
He don't want to go to shelter, but he want to get off the street right now today. Then he don't want a roommate. It's a lot of things that he don't want and things that he do want, but, I'm still trying to figure out, something. Hopefully one of these phone calls I could hear something, some good news.
The number of people needing services far outweighs the funding available to provide them. So many of the team's clients wind up waiting in line, especially for housing.
It's hard to find housing because of the cancer, and nobody will accept me.
30-year-old Andre James says for the past couple of years he's been sleeping outside and showering here. He'd like to hit the reset button on his whole life with a new apartment and a new job. But so far, no luck.
They reached out to several places, but still nothing.
It's very frustrating for Andre and also for those who are trying to help him.
We take everything with a grain of salt, and you just let it roll right off of you when it happens. Because if you don't, it'll potentially build up and you won't be able to do this job.
Raven and Mary say they'll just keep plugging away, doing all they can to get their clients' lives back on track. And those who depend on the team hope they never stop.
Don't give up on us.
This is Sheryl Kahn reporting for WPB-TV.
Latinos Unidos.
Protests like this one erupted coast to coast after Florida Governor and presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis signed into law one of the toughest crackdowns on undocumented immigrants in the country.
No SB 1718.
Hundreds of demonstrators marched across downtown streets past Hispanic-owned businesses that had been closed for the day in protest. They rallied in front of West Palm Beach City Hall and the Palm Beach County Courthouse, gathering supporters along the way.
Because I'm Hispanic and I want to support them.
Among the law's provisions, stricter employment requirements that will allow state authorities to conduct random audits of businesses suspected of hiring undocumented workers, and increased criminal penalties for human smuggling with felony charges for those caught transporting someone from any other state into Florida. 17-year-old Sheryl Tomas, whose parents immigrated to South Florida from Guatemala, is distraught about the new law.
Both of my parents are immigrants, and I've seen that we've been fighting for a very long time, and this is just a setback, so it really hurts.
Sheryl says the current political climate in her home state makes her very nervous.
It has become scary. It wasn't like this.
The law goes into effect July 1st. Protesters promise to voice their opposition to it up until that day and beyond.
Latinos Unidos.
This is Sheryl Kahn reporting for for WPB TV. During spring training for the world champion Houston Astros, they are the fans with a plan. Armed with scrapbooks, baseballs, jerseys, even shoes, Jeremy! They're determined to get up close and personal with their favorite players.
Right here.
Some live near the ballpark of the Palm Beaches. Others flew in from Texas with their fully bedazzled, colorful Astros regalia.
We are here for the season.
So are Houston residents Donna and Jan, season ticket holders who haven't missed a single game in many years.
We stay the entire spring training because we love our Astros.
With bags of balls to be autographed and lots of competition from some very aggressive fans, the two friends have a strategy to get the players to walk over to them.
Being kind and polite and non-aggressive to the players like some of these people are. Pushing and shoving and yelling at them. You just stand here and wait your turn and they'll get to you.
They'd been waiting for World Series MVP Jeremy Pena for 2 days but weren't ready to give up. Neither was 12-year-old Lake Worth resident Laurie. She and her family wanted to meet all the Latino players, especially those from their native Venezuela. And these Atlanta brothers, diehard baseball fans, were visiting their grandparents in Florida and trying to add to their autograph collection. 13-year-old Brady's ambitious plan was to get somebody to give him a bat.
I'm going to get a bat. It's pretty obvious. I'm going to get a bat.
That's pretty confident.
I'm going to get a bat.
So for the next couple of hours, they all lined the fence outside the practice field along with everybody else until finally this. Venezuelan superstar Jose Altuve stopped to chat with Laurie's family, so of course they invited him to dinner. You invited him to your house?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said no because he had to work.
Meanwhile, Brady did get some autographs, but not the bat he was after. But for Superfans Donna and Jan, a home run. What do you think of these ladies? They love you.
They were here yesterday and I told them I was going to sign for them, so
You're a good guy.
I kept my promise.
And we appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
And that, these fans say, could just be a sign of some very good things to come once again for their very favorite team.
Yeah, Astros! Woohoo!
This is Sheryl Kahn reporting for WPB TV. If you've ever seen a manatee up close,
Mom!
you know why so many people are obsessed with them.
They're so old Florida, and they're just so beautiful, wonderful, gentle creatures.
These unique sea creatures, vegetarian mammals who grow to at least 9 feet long and weigh 1,000 pounds or more, head to warmer waters when the weather turns cold. That's when you'll find them here at Florida Power and Light's Manatee Lagoon.
They start congregating toward the shallower waters to try to stay warm, but also more of these discharges, like the FPL plant over here at the Manatee Lagoon. It discharges warmer water, so they'll congregate there to stay warm.
But while it is nice and warm here, these gentle giants are often swimming towards hazardous seas. Every year, hundreds of manatees are killed, many of them by speeding boats. And that's where West Palm Beach Police Sergeants Craig Davis and Robert Heiser come in.
Idle zone, Captain!
Idle zone.
Idle!
Working with the underwater search and recovery team to save humans who run into trouble, they recently rescued a man who'd nearly drowned. But they also patrol the ocean to keep Florida's manatees safe.
We help enforce the state and waterway laws on the manatee zones and the speed zones to help prevent the injuries and the deaths to all the manatees here.
It's not always easy.
Captain, it's an idle zone. Idle, not slow speed. Idle.
Davis and Heiser use the boat's loudspeaker and hand signals to warn boats when they're going too fast. And if that doesn't work, they'll turn on the flashing lights and pull them over, in this case, literally. During these mid-ocean traffic stops, they'll run your license through the computer just like they would on land.
I didn't see your ID.
If you haven't been stopped before, you'll get a quick safety talk and a written warning.
Just pay attention to signs. This is slow speed, no wake zone. When you get to 3A up here, it turns into an
It's a warning, right?
It's a warning.
All right.
But if you have done it before, it could cost you.
I don't want to hear it. Slow down. If I write you a ticket, it's $140.
The sergeants say many of those who break the rules are new boat owners or those who've rented a vessel with little or no experience. And while it's never fun to see those flashing lights behind you on the road or on the water,
It's an idle zone through here.
they just hope boaters understand why they're doing it and who they're trying to keep safe. This is Sheryl Kahn reporting for WPB TV.
How you guys doing out there?
At SunFest, a celebration of sorts. Mostly sunny skies for this year's event, and after a rain-soaked festival last year and COVID cancellations the 2 years before that, fans were just happy to be here.
You're set up pretty early. Why'd you come so early?
Just to get a good spot and start enjoying the sun.
Even with a pared-down schedule, they got to see some of their favorite artists like Flo Rida, the Dropkick Murphys, and the high-energy punk pop All Time Low. Plus, former Dreyfus School of the Arts student Allegra Miles, who made a name for herself on both American Idol and The Voice. The festival was cut down from 4 days to 3, with no art show this time and fewer bands. Still, many festival goers had some they couldn't wait to see.
I came to see Surfaces. I love them. We've been listening to them for probably like 2 years. They're actually my #1 artist on Spotify last year.
And open minds about hearing sounds that were new to them.
I don't mind. I'm definitely open to listening to whoever.
Some were at the festival for the first time, like Heather Lazarus, who volunteered at Jupiter High School's cocktail booth.
And all proceeds from our tips go directly to the high school.
Others are SunFest veterans like Scott Manatee, who's been coming here since the early 80s. With his collection of passes around his neck, Scott always makes the rounds to see every single band.
I'll stop here, I'll go down to the next one, get some pictures, come back down.
And with this year's nearly perfect weather, he definitely had lots of company. This is Sheryl Kahn reporting for WPB TV.